Hello, my name is Olivia Lesniak, and for my final English 112 assignment, my essay titled Challenge of the Sexes is about gender inequality in sports. I chose this paper as a female athlete myself who understands what it feels like to be undervalued and underrespected in their sport versus their male counterparts. You can see the difference between male games and female games just simply by the student section and the way they talked about. Male games have a lot of excitement, a lot of conversation, and a lot of interest, whereas female sports usually do not get the same attention they deserve compared to their male counterparts. So the number one issue that comes with gender inequality in athletics is the unequal payment between male and female professional athletes. In the article, Male versus Female Professional Sports Salary Comparison by Adelphi University, the statistic that really stood out to me was that athletes in basketball, golf, soccer, baseball, and tennis make anywhere from 15% to nearly 100% more than female athletes. So two individuals in the same exact sport can make up to triple amount just because of the gender of that athlete. And this leads to a lot of women not participating in sports because they feel like their sport isn't valued and that isn't cared about. And with female athletics come very harmful stereotypes. These stereotypes like women athletes aren't as feminine and are seen as manly, and even things can be assumed about their sexual orientation simply because of the sport they play. And with these stereotypes becomes this really harmful term called sexploitation. And that just means the commercial exploitation of sex and sexual attractiveness. So this is just when women athletes are marketed as simply objects and are used for their bodies instead of treated as serious, respectable athletes. And this can be hard for a lot of people to take women athletes seriously because they're just used for the way they look like. And which comes this is a lot of harmful comments about women athletes' appearances. You usually hear in a sports game many commenters commenting on what they look like, how much they weigh. This can be very detrimental to a female athlete's mental health when all they are hearing about is comments of how they look and not comments on how they're performing as just an athlete. So my number one solution to fix this gender inequality gap between men and women is to find better marketing strategies to highlight women athletes that can bring more views to women's sports. It is very hard to argue women athletics deserving more payment when they are simply just not receiving as many views as male sports are. And this is 100% true that they are not bringing in as much revenue as male competitions are. But I think this can be greatly solved if we just market and talk about women athletics more often. If we treat them the same as we treat male athletics, more people will be excited about these games and more people will want to see them simply. And this can help fix that equal payment and help us justify that women should be paid more. Another solution is just to help prevent against sexist language towards women athletes. Media has a huge influence over what people think and the games they're going to watch. So when reporters and commenters are making these sexist terms and statements about women athletes, it's hard for the public just to view them seriously. So just canceling reporters who talk derogatory about women and about women's bodies can help bring a more serious level to women's games. And with that, hiring more female reporters to talk about women's athletics can ensure that these comments will not be made and that the women will receive the respect they deserve. And my final and most important solution, in my opinion, is that we just establish organizations and policies to protect female athletes against discriminatory acts. And a great example of this is the Association for Intercollegiate Athletics for Women. And although this organization is no longer around today, it's a great model for future organizations to work on that protects women's interests in women's sports and takes them seriously and puts their wants and needs first. To wrap up, over the last few years, women's sports have been taken more seriously and they have been getting more respect that they deserved, but we need to take more steps to ensure equal opportunity and equal payment for women and male athletes. Thank you.